Hello, this is Mark Satterfield. I'm founder and CEO of Gentle Rain Marketing, and today's short presentation is on traffic generation made simple. The most common question that clients ask me is, how can I get more qualified visitors to my website? And that's a good question, and to be honest with you, there are a lot of different options. And it can get a little confusing and a little overwhelming. So today, what I'd like to do is to focus on the most common, two of the most common, and arguably two of the most effective ways to drive qualified traffic to your website. And these are paid advertising and what's referred to as SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. So we'll start with paid advertising. Paid advertising, you'll sometimes see it referred to as PPC or CPC. PPC simply stands for pay per click. CPC stands for cost per click. And what this means is that paid advertising on the internet, generally you get charged when somebody clicks on your ad. Otherwise, you don't get charged. Now, there are some other options where you can run an ad just to have it seen in front of X number of thousands of eyeballs. Personally, I wouldn't recommend that. The nice thing about paid advertising using this PPC or CPC model is that you're really just paying for results. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't some hidden landmines along the way, but by and large, this is a pretty good option. Now, the real advantage of paid advertising is speed. You can literally set up an ad at 10 o'clock in the morning and by 10:30 be driving traffic to a website. And you can advertise on a lot of different places. People tend to think about Google as the first place to advertise, and that's not necessarily a bad place to start. But paid advertising campaigns do not begin and end on Google. There's other sites such as Bing, a lot of secondary search engines that may in fact offer you better quality prospects for a lower cost than Google does. You'll also want to advertise potentially on social media sites such as Facebook or LinkedIn. And then, of course, you can also advertise on many other targeted sites. So, for example, let's say you were in the sales training business. You might want to have an ad that appears in Selling Power Magazine's website. So there's a lot of different options in terms of where your ad runs. But as I say, the model that is most typical, and the model I'd recommend virtually for anyone, is to get charged only when people click on your ad. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Your ad only appears when people are searching for certain keywords. I mean, that makes a lot of common sense. People don't turn on a computer, and obviously your ad isn't just going to appear. So one needs to think through very carefully, what are the keywords? Now here's some just very basic tips. The very short keywords, and keywords might be a single word or just two words, those are the words that people generally will put into a search engine when they are simply looking for information or just starting to kind of browse around for information. Interestingly, when people are in the mode of I'm ready to make a decision, I'm ready to buy something, I'm ready to engage with somebody, they don't typically put in a one or two word search term. What they do is they instead put in a multiple word search term. So whereas someone might be, when they're looking for marketing, might put in more clients when they are just searching to kind of get generalized information. When they're ready to make a decision, then they would put in more clients for my chiropractic business. People are drilling down, really looking for a specific solution. So the key is, if you're looking for prospective clients who a large percentage of them are going to turn into actual paying clients, prospects versus paying clients, then you want to focus on these longer keywords, what we call long tail keywords. A lot of people don't give much thought to the keywords they select, but this is crucial. Second of all is writing the ad. You want to design an ad that does what we call attracts but limits. Because remember, you get charged every time somebody clicks on the ad. So for example, with Gentle Rain, one of our best performing ads is how to get more new clients exclusively for providers of high value services. So the first part of the ad is the attraction. The second part of the ad is the limitation, telling people specifically who we focus on. So if you focus on writing a great ad, if you focus on very specifically the keywords you want to go after, paid advertising is definitely something you want to consider. Now, here's a cool tip. You may want to consider what's called remarketing. Remarketing is kind of interesting in the sense that once somebody does come to your site, a large percentage of them may leave that site without actually contacting you or even requesting your free information. Remarketing, what it does is it puts a 30-day cookie, which is a little piece of code, on a person's computer who comes to visit your site. Then when this person goes to other relevant websites that accept advertising, your advertisement will show up. You ever notice that where you go to, let's say, a Ford website, and then you are browsing around other websites, all of a sudden these ads appear for a Ford car? That's not just coincidence. What it was is when you went to the Ford site, they put a little 30-day cookie on your computer, and so when you go to other websites that accept advertising, that ad pops back up. It's something that we could do for you. It's something that a lot of advertising experts can do for you. And certainly if you're thinking about doing paid advertising, it's worth considering. All right, the second one is SEO, search engine optimization. And what this means is that your site appears in the natural search listings. Let's spend a moment just talk about that. When you Google a term, what will happen is there'll typically be two paid advertisements along the very top of the page, and then there'll be approximately 6 to 8 that run down the right-hand column. In the middle of the page, those are the natural search listings. Now, why do we want to get natural search listings? Well, the primary reason is that people tend to click on the natural search listings with far greater regularity than they do the paid search listings. And the natural search listings have, when people click on them, a little bit more of an assumed era of credibility. So credibility and greater number of clicks. Now you don't get charged each time someone clicks, but it's not to say that SEO is free, because getting yourself on the first page of Google or any search engine is a very complex process, and you're probably going to need or want to hire someone to do it for you. So how specifically do certain sites get on the first page versus others? There's two main criteria: links and content. Links basically refers to how many sites link to yours. And in the old days, this was the primary tool that the Google algorithm used to determine how high your page ranked. Unfortunately, a lot of what's called link farms, pages that did nothing but send out links, were developed. And so a lot of sites that received a lot of links were kind of getting what, from Google's perspective, were bogus links or bogus credit. So Google, relatively recently, has backed away from the importance of links. Not to say they're not important, but links that come from link farms actually hurt your rankings, whereas, of course, links that come from reputable sites help. But the key right now is content. Content that appears on your site. Content that appears basically in what's called your meta tags and your title tags. These are the things at the very top of your page, making sure that your keywords that you're going after appear on the page no more than twice, but also content in terms of your blog, content that you post on other people's blog, content that you write in terms of articles, content that you post on other people's forums. All of this together really does a wonderful job of increasing your ranking, again, for very specific keywords. But with SEO, there's a lot of moving parts, And it all has to be done manually. Google has caught on that there were these robots that used to create links and these article spinning services that would just create articles over and over again. And Google, interestingly, is about getting as close to artificial intelligence as we have. And they can actually determine the difference between what's an article that's written by a human versus one that's written by a computer. So SEO works, but it's very labor intensive, and as I say, there's a lot of moving parts. So you really want to engage with someone who understands the SEO process and can put together a integrated campaign using all the available platforms and only using what's called white hat, which is good, versus black hat or gray hat, which can get you in trouble. And what do I mean when I say trouble? Google can, if they decide, they can do what's called delisting your site, which means your site doesn't show up for any kind of search, even if they put in the name of your site. So you want to avoid that. But if you do avoid that, SEO can be very, very powerful. And once you get on the first page, as long as you continue with the SEO, you'll stay there literally forever. The downside to SEO takes you about 90 days to get to the first page. So while paid advertising is great from a speed standpoint, SEO is great from a credibility standpoint. And ideally what you'd like to do is you'd like to do both. Okay, and that leads to this next slide, which I kind of jumped ahead. It's not a matter of one being better than the other. They're slightly different. Paid advertising for speed, SEO a little bit more for credibility. Ideally, what I would do is I do both because there is some synergy, especially in terms of Google. Google will tend to reward, although they'll not admit it, they'll again tend to give you more SEO credit if you're also doing paid advertising. So the two do go hand in hand. All right, what should we budget? Paid advertising, what I would do, and these are big thumb numbers. Let me put that caveat out there because this is going to depend upon the keywords you're going after. It's going to depend upon how competitive your particular market is, but big thumb numbers, paid advertising, I'd budget $750 to $1,200 a month and do that, make that commitment for 3 months. Then you can adjust it. You can adjust it up or you can adjust it down. But after 3 months, you'll have a real good sense in terms of what you're getting for the money, in terms of which keywords are performing better than others, and you can start to modify this. SEO, again, because of the labor-intensive method of it, I would budget between $1,000 and $3,000. Now, depending upon what kind of market you're going after, and both SEO as well as paid advertising tend to work best when you target a very specific geographic market. Now, your business may be nationwide, but even in that case, I'd focus initially on the cities where your best prospects are and focus on campaigns that get those. Then you can expand and do multiple cities. But with SEO, I would budget about $1,000 to $3,000 initially, let it again go for 90 days, and then assess where you are. So if you wanted to do both, you're probably talking, again, big thumb number, somewhere between $1,700, $1,800 a month to $4,000 to $5,000 a month. But this, again, this is designed for businesses that are profitable, businesses that are successful, and businesses that, of course, want to take themselves to that next level. Now, important to keep in mind is that traffic is only one part of the system. And you do want to be thinking about marketing as a system. Because if you drive traffic to a website that isn't set up to receive it, well, all the traffic's just going to bounce off and it isn't going to do you any good. So remember the system. The system's got 4 steps to it. Number 1 is pick a niche. Niches are important because it's just so gosh darn hard to get people's attention. The more your marketing message, the more your prospect, can see a reflection of themselves in your marketing message, the greater the likelihood is that they're going to stop and pay attention to you. So first of all, you want to pick a niche. I'm not saying your entire business needs to be focused on this niche, just your marketing. And you can have multiple marketing campaigns that move down parallel paths, each focused on a specific niche. Second of all is to create a great free offer. Remember that we're building a relationship. Person coming to your website just once isn't going to do it. What we need to be able to do is we need to be able to stay in touch with this person so we can build trust, build credibility, and convert prospects into paying clients. And the way that we do that is we make them an offer of something great for free. Could be a report, could be a video, could be a podcast. Doesn't make any difference how it's delivered. It's the topic that's key. And this is really important. You need to create a hooky topic, not something dumb, not something lame ass, not something that everybody else is doing. Something that really piques the curiosity of visitors who are coming to your site, because we want them to request that. They're going to give us their contact information in order to do that, and then that enables us to move to the third step, where we send the ongoing messages. When we develop these campaigns for clients, we use what's called a soap opera message. And basically what this means is that each message links together so that people are excited and interested in opening subsequent messages. So you have high open rates, high readership rates, and most importantly, high conversion rates. So you pick a niche, you create a great offer, you send up your soap opera messages, then and only then do you drive traffic, and that's when SEO and paid advertising come in. Okay, so hopefully you found this helpful. Question people then ask is, can we help you? And of course we can. We can help you in a variety of ways. You can work with me one-on-one to brainstorm your marketing strategy, your message, your topic for your hooky free report. We can actually write your free reports for you. We can write your soap opera messages. And then when it comes time to drive traffic, we can implement a paid advertising campaign for you. We can implement an SEO campaign for you. We can do a combination of both. In effect, no matter whether you want to outsource a little bit of your marketing or you want to outsource the entire thing, I encourage you to give me a call and let's talk personally about how I can be of assistance. You can reach me either via email at mark@gentlerainmarketing.com, or you can call me here in Atlanta at 770-643-8566. Well, I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot of other great videos and other helpful information on our main website, which is gentlerainmarketing.com. So this is Mark Satterfield. Looking forward to hopefully having a chance to speak to you in the near future. Bye for now.